G'day guys and welcome back to another episode of the Ultimo Gaming Podcast. I'm your host Duane and I'm joined with my lovely co-host as always,
Jac
and
Chelsea.
How are you guys going?
Good, thanks.
Good.
That's good to hear. We have a bit of a special episode today. This episode is going to be focusing on your gaming 2x2's. You've heard our opinions on our favourite games, and we thought it'd be an awesome opportunity to kind of go through and see what people have submitted to our survey. We recently did a survey just to get some feedback on when the podcast should go out, what times it should be, how long it should go for, that type of thing, what people are interested in, what platforms, you know, all the fun statistical stuff. And we thought we'd go through and see what the best answers, or not the best answers, just like the most varied answers of what gaming 2x2's look like for other people. And I figure we will start off with, we've got two on here that are anonymous, and then we had three that had names attached. So if it's your gaming 2x2, be sure to let us know in the comments that got featured. So I'm going to start off with the first one here, and it's from Anonymous. Now, their gaming 2x2 was actually Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which I think that's the most recent Call of Duty Black Ops,
I believe so.
If I'm correct. I've only ever played the original Black Ops and Black Ops 2, which it's scary that they're up to 6 if that's the case. There is Star Wars Battlefront 2. They didn't specify whether it was the 2004 version or the 2018 or 2019 version. Both are good anyway, so that's fine. Dead by Daylight, I haven't played that. That looks interesting. And Marvel Rivals. But the game that they actually recommended the most was Dead by Daylight, and I'm going to quote them here. Dead by Daylight because it has a great community of horror movie fans, and the gameplay mechanics are really fun as well. If you want to have a good laugh and always play with a couple of friends, the real fun begins when you get to hear your friends screaming and getting chased by the killer. It's super funny when you all get scared, but I highly recommend this game. So, Chelsea, Jac, have you guys played Dead by Daylight?
No, but I have seen other people play it, and it's very, very popular to come across it on like a live streaming platform like Twitch.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I haven't played it, but I have certainly seen others play it.
Yeah, I'm not traditionally a horror person. Are you guys?
No,
not at all.
Yeah, we're all scaredy cats here on the podcast. But I have seen plenty of is Nicolas Cage in it? I'm fairly certain Nicolas Cage is like a killer in the Dead by Daylight, and it's just him.
Oh.
It's him. It's not like he's playing a character. It's literally Nicolas Cage that's going after you.
I'm not sure about that, but it certainly does sound like something Nicolas Cage would do.
I know. I think Freddy's in there from Halloween. Michael Myers. I think he's in there.
Are they like the names that you're listing right now? Are they playing as those characters in the game? Do you know?
From what I understand, I believe it's 4 players versus 1 killer. There may be more. I know I've seen 4 players before. They've got to complete objectives, and the killer's got to stop them. Now, the killer has certain abilities. It's kind of like a 4v1 sort of gameplay, like that kind of co-op. Someone's like running around as the bad guy, and they've got to do things to stop them. So I think they can stun the killer and all that type of stuff. Again, I haven't had too much experience with it, but referring to like what else is on their gaming 2x2, I think it's pretty solid. It seems to be a little bit more recent, I would say, in the games that are on this list. So maybe they've recently just become a gamer.
Also quite franchise-based in terms of not just
I agree.
franchises, but franchises that exist beyond the gaming space, like
Correct.
Star Wars and Marvel.
Yes, and Call of Duty's been around forever, so, you know, that's one of those things. I'd like to touch on Star Wars Battlefront 2. I think that's a fantastic game.
I agree.
A lot of fun.
I have not played it.
Are you a big Star Wars fan though, Chelsea?
Not really.
Not really?
I've seen majority of the movies, but if you ask me any questions, I'm not going to be able to answer them.
I'm a Star Wars nerd, on the other hand. So.
Jac's got it down. So then, like, you've played the most recent Battlefront 2?
Yes.
Then who would be like your favourite character in that?
I'm again not huge. Like, I tend to play as
The Troopers?
Yeah, the Troopers, mainly because they're a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And it's a shooter, and shooters are not my forte as a gamer. I just do not have the reaction time for shooters, but I find this one a lot of fun.
I think I ended up playing a majority of like the co-op mode where you just go against the AI and it's 4 players and you just play against the AI team. That was a lot of fun. But I always thought it was quite neat with that game in particular. They brought the voice actors from the animated series to voice all the characters.
Yeah.
So, and they're very, very good at getting quite close to the original actors. Like the Obi-Wan Kenobi's voice actor, he sounds like Ewan McGregor. Like it's pretty much dead on. Like he's got the accent and everything for it. So I think that's good. Chelsea, you've played a lot of Marvel Rivals, haven't you?
Yeah.
What do you think about Marvel Rivals?
I love to see that there. No offense to whoever did this, of course, but I don't know. Marvel Rivals, it's great, but for me, it's just casual. Like it's casual playing.
Like I've only just given it a crack. I literally played it last night, like first ever time. I had no idea what the hell I'm doing. I ended up sticking on Doctor Strange because I was like, he has a shield.
Yeah, so when I first did it, I played as Loki and I got told very quickly that no, if as a beginner, you shouldn't start with Loki. But I just chose Loki because he's my favorite character.
Yeah.
So eventually I made my way to Squirrel Girl, and now she's my main. She's probably the easiest and easy to understand. And I don't know. I don't understand, like, for example, apparently it's similar to Overwatch.
Yeah, that's the vibe I was getting.
But I still don't really understand all the different roles.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you have a team, you have all the different, like, there's like...
composition's quite weird. It's like...
attack, defense,
Vanguard,
healer,
yeah,
and something else. I still don't understand the concept of the game in general. Yeah. So I just go straight to attack because I'm like, that's all I really know.
Is there a tutorial mode? I don't know I didn't look to see if there was.
I don't know. I didn't come across.
The only thing I really want to know about that game in particular is why is everyone so caked up?
Yeah.
Like, I kid you not, even Venom's got figures and curves and like, why? Like, I don't know why, but he does, and so does every other character in that game. So I'm sure they're really going for a certain angle there.
Yeah. I think I might be the last person. I've heard of it.
Yep.
But I haven't played it, and it hasn't really come across my orbit. But having heard that it's similar to Overwatch, which is a game I enjoy deeply, I am now much more interested in giving it a try.
Yeah, if you like Overwatch, you're going to like Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, I'd give it a crack. I'm a little bit more privy to Overwatch, but just because I know what I'm doing in that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't... With Marvel Rivals, I just... can't find myself obsessing over it.
Yeah, like
playing it a lot.
Same as like how Overwatch was set up.
Yeah. I played Overwatch once, and I know you love your game, and I don't want to hurt you at all. But I don't know. I just couldn't
fall in love with it.
I don't know if it's because I'm just been so addicted to games that are like story mode games and games that I can just go and do whatever I want to do.
Overwatch had a lot of potential with what they were going to promise with the second one, and then they threw it all out the window, which is a bit disappointing. But
yeah,
that's Blizzard in a nutshell.
Yeah. See also EA.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Jac, do you want to take us through the next list?
This one is also from Anonymous, and we have Crash Tag Team Racing, Elden Ring, Days Gone, and Just Cause 2. They have recommended Days Gone, and I'll quote, "It's a very underrated and a little over-bashed for being another zombie shooter. It's got an interesting take on the genre and has some really fun gameplay with hordes of zombies, freakers, that hunt you down, which is a thrill. Hopefully they make a sequel. The ending was such a cliffhanger."
Okay. I've got to say my only experience with Days Gone was the initial reveal that they did at like the Sony State of Play. It was a few years ago. It looked interesting because it was like, have you guys seen World War Z?
Yes.
Have you seen that, Chelsea?
No.
Well, these are like the kind of zombies where they're runners. They run at you. And I think if anyone agrees in any zombie apocalypse, if the zombies run, I wouldn't worry about it, eh? Like, they're the kind of zombies that they could just kind of run at you. But they play on the factor of like The Last of Us where the humans are also the danger as well. But I think it fell in that time where it was like zombies were so overdone. They'd just done The Last of Us. They'd just had like The Walking Dead was running its course with the popularity that it had. And then they had something else. I think it was like Is it Dead by Daylight? No, not Dead by Daylight. What's the parkour zombie game?
I have no idea.
There's like a parkour zombie game. We'll throw up the title. I can't think of it at the time, but it's like, I think it was getting to the point where everyone was just a bit over zombies.
Yeah.
And it was one of those genres that are a bit too run down. But it looks interesting. It's like, you ride motorcycles, go around with the boys and do all the bits and pieces. The only experience I've really had with this list in particular, I've played a bit of Crash Tag Team Racing. For the racing element for Crash, I'd say my favorite's the one where you combine cars together. Which one's that one? Is that... have you guys played that one where you combine the cars together and one's a shooter and one's a driver?
No, that sounds like fun though.
That's a lot of fun because that had like an open world element as well. But Crash Tag Team Racing, that's fun. And Just Cause 2, that is an awesome game. Like, that was pretty much Skyrim of open worlds. Like, you could do all sorts of like action-y kind of game. You could just run around, blow stuff up, and it was all full of destruction. So I haven't played Elden Ring though. Have you guys?
Days Gone sounds like a very different zombie game to The Last of Us, but The Last of Us is such a brilliant story. It's one of the games. I'm not big on zombies as a general rule, but I've just slowly been chipping away at The Last of Us for quite a while, and it's such a rich story-filled game
100%.
that I adore it. And I've also watched the series, obviously.
Yeah, I do want to get into it.
Have you watched the series?
No, but I've seen people play the game. I've seen shorts of the series, and I'm like, oh my god, I really want to watch this so badly, but I don't know whether I should be playing the game first or I should be watching the series.
Okay, I play the game first.
Yeah.
I started playing the game, then the series came out, and I watched that, so I'm sort of spoiled for the game now, but at the same time, the series is so well done that it's one of the few times I think that a gaming IP has actually translated really well to a screen format.
Yeah, it's like one of the only formats that have actually successfully done it.
Yes.
Because unfortunately, Halo is one of my favorites, but the series that they did, Master Cheeks, was there, so you had no helmet on half the time, which is very frustrating. But
and I think the reason that The Last of Us works so well as a series is that the story was so good to begin with in the game that when you're trying to adapt Street Fighter, like trying to understand, it doesn't have a lot of lore, and the lore it does have makes next to no sense.
Yeah. Well, people adore the Street Fighter film, but that's a whole different kettle of fish. It's like the original Super Mario Brothers movie. That was a complete train wreck, but everyone loved it because it's like so B grade. Any other games you guys have played on that list?
I haven't played any of them. However, I have heard a lot, not heard a lot, probably seen is probably the better word, a lot about Elden Ring. From a point of view, it gives me World of Warcraft vibes.
Yeah, it's very dark. Like, it's by the guys that do Dark Souls. One of my mates, he loves it to death. He's platinumed all the Dark Souls games. He's platinumed Elden Ring, and he's like, oh, but it's so good when you finally because the whole point of it is that you got these bosses that are around, and from what I understand, Elden Ring's a little bit more open world than Dark Souls. And it's just very unforgiving. It's like, if you were to put yourself in a fantasy world, no, you wouldn't have like super magical powers. You'd probably die in 2 hits. And that's just how life would go.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like that genre of game because part of the magic of gaming is that you're
super strong.
Can be this overpowered, super strong, perfect version of a character. As opposed to just the grind of endlessly dying against this boss until you finally figure out the minute little moves that you need to be able to do at exactly the right moment in order to beat them.
Yeah, it is impressive when people beat the games really, really well. I find that's always impressive to watch. But to me, I'm just like, you know what? I just want to be awesome and strong and feel powerful and stuff. And I was like, I just can't be bothered. Like, I think the closest I've ever gotten to some sort of Elden Ring game was probably Jedi Survivor, which was the Star Wars game where you're like one of the last Jedis, and it's got elements like that where the bosses are really strong. So you want to keep going from there. But Chelsea, do you want to take us to the next list that we've got there?
Sure. So next up is from one of our viewers. Well, not viewers, sorry. Wrong
Listeners.
word. Listeners. Croc Hero, who has given us his 2x2, which is Phasmophobia, Minecraft, FC25, and Horizon Forbidden West. I'm assuming, is that 2?
That's the second one. So Zero
Second one.
Dawn's the first one.
Yeah.
And here they've recommended Phasmophobia, and I will quote, Phasmophobia, as it is a fun, chill game to play with friends where you can get spooked, but it is not as scary as other horror games. You can take things easy or to the extreme with a wide variety of ghosts to find. I actually like to hear that because I've been recommended Phasmophobia and I've always said, no, I'm not playing it. I don't like horror games. Yeah. But to know that it's not as scary, I'm like, okay, maybe I might be a bit open to playing it.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's scary. I've played it with a few mates, and it's the game is pretty much identifying the type of ghost that it is, and there's like a list of like all the things that you've got. So you go to a house or you go to a mansion or whatever it is, and it's like, hey, you've got all these equipment to identify it. And then if you're like, hey, it didn't show up on this equipment, like a UV light, there's no footprints or whatever. Okay, so you tick that one off your list, and that narrows down the ghosts that you've got left. So there's like ones where you can put like a book down and it'll write in the book it's ghost writing. And if it doesn't do that, it's like, okay, it throws the book away. It's not that, so you can tick that off, and that narrows down what's left.
Oh, okay.
So that's what it is. It's all about the identification and knowing the traits, I'd say. Look, maybe I didn't play it with the right group. It didn't really capture my attention when it came to Phasmophobia, but I could see the element. But I think what it was is I was playing with a group that knew everything already.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not figuring it out, so I don't know. I'm just tagging along for the ride.
Yeah.
So.
Have you guys played any other games? I'm assuming here we've all played Minecraft.
Yeah, we've all played Minecraft.
Okay, that's good. Good to hear.
I haven't played FC25. I'm not really into like sportsy games, if that makes sense. The only sports game I've really played is the wrestling games.
I've only ever played the ice hockey games, the NHL.
Yes.
Are they good?
They're fun.
Yeah. They are.
I actually enjoy picking my team and playing as them.
Do you just like beat the crap out of the other team?
Yeah.
I really enjoy. I have played FC25 and it's okay. It has exact same issues that every other FIFA game has.
Does it have like the whole FIFA team building thing?
It does.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like a biggest scam of like money.
Yeah, well, look who the publisher is, and
That's true.
we will kings of scamming.
I guess to get the rights too, I imagine the football clubs make an absolute boatload as well.
Yeah, there's a lot sort of on the line, but I've played it. It's okay. I'm with Chelsea. I am such a fan of the NHL franchise.
So good.
And it's a sporting game. I think it's really good at adapting difficulty. So you can play it with like the skill stick mode, which is sort of like the most simulation or closest stimulation. You can play it with
like really casually and stuff, like
a 2-button mode that has been picked up essentially from a Sega Mega Drive in 1994 and put on, and
so you can play it like really advanced, like it's almost like manual and automatic in that kind of regard.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Which team do you play as?
Toronto Maple Leafs.
She's got opinions.
Anaheim Ducks. I saw them live playing LA Kings last year. It was so good.
Regarding Horizon though, I haven't played it personally. Steph is actually probably the best person to ask about that, but she's not here today. but I know she on her list, the original Zero Dawn was on there, so
Oh, wow.
she was a massive fan of that.
Yes.
And I think it was between Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. That was the choices.
I don't know much about it. I've never heard it before, to be honest.
Based on what it is, it's like an ancient world with like these robot dinosaurs getting around.
Yeah.
And it's open world, and you've got to go explore the mystery to find out what's going on. And there's like a full deep lore behind it as well. So, look, it's interesting. I think I might pick it up when it goes on sale next, the first one at least, and see what it's like. But I did that with Spider-Man, and I still haven't played that either. So
Oh my god, yeah, I've been the same.
So, but yeah, Jack, do you want to take the next one as well?
Yeah, sure. So, this is...
Who we got there? Is it
Kanto Warlord.
Okay.
The games they have selected are Black Myth Wukong,
Yep.
Terraria,
Yep.
Kid Icarus Uprising, and Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. And they have picked Black Myth Wukong as their game of choice. They say the cinematics are insane, and it's so rich with strong gameplay, musical score, and you'll even learn about Chinese culture and mythology, all while playing nothing but a stellar piece of gaming experience.
Right.
Which reads actually I haven't played this game, but it reads as a pretty strong recommendation.
Well, I know it came out last year. Actually, I think it was the year prior. It might have been 2023 it came out. Because I know it was against Baldur's Gate for the Game of the Year. And it was nominated on like a whole bunch of lists. From what I understand is it plays similar to like Dark Souls, but probably closer to Sekiro. Like, I don't know if you guys have played that. That's like the samurai sort of Dark Souls-y kind of game. I know it's set in like Chinese mythology, and you're playing as Wukong, like Sun Wukong, which is like the monkey god. And it's like you're taking on these big mythical beasts from China mythology. It seems pretty cool. It's just I haven't had a chance to get around to playing that. Chelsea, have you played it or no?
No, I actually haven't played any of those games on the list.
Out of the list that they've suggested, I've played Terraria and Link Between Worlds. Terraria is 2D Minecraft.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to describe it. I again, it wasn't my vibe. Like,
Do you
seems
think
cool.
because you've played Minecraft that you just can't play?
Maybe, I don't know. I've got mates that love both Minecraft and Terraria,
Okay,
so I don't know.
interesting.
I just couldn't get behind it. That was just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I've played a little bit and same. It just seemed like it wasn't unique enough to bother when I also have Minecraft right there.
Yeah.
I think Terraria is more about exploration rather than building.
Yeah.
So if you like building more, then Minecraft's more up your alley, because it's not really you build a base just to like have a defense. That's it.
Yeah, I think for me that is the major issue because I am very much a builder. Yeah. And what do you think about A Link Between Worlds?
Link Between Worlds, I love that game. That game's fantastic. It's a sequel to Link to the Past, and it was one of the 3DS games that I picked up like really close to its release, like the game its release, and I remember just being enamored with it. Like I was like, I just didn't put the game down. It's very good. It's got a unique sort of feature where Link is able to go into a 2D wall and then go to a different world by going through the cracks of it. So it's like a shadow and a light world, and you'd be able to do all the different bits and pieces from there. So there was like puzzles where you had to go onto the wall to get around certain objects, and Zelda is really creative with the way they solve their puzzles, which it's always a joy. It's kind of like Mario in that aspect.
Because I absolutely adore... I haven't played A Link Between Worlds, and because I didn't have a Nintendo till the Switch, basically, my first introduction to Zelda was A Breath of the Wild, which is like...
Breath of the Wild is like... I think it belong on anyone's list here, and it is a great game. it's rejuvenized the way Zelda works as a puzzle game. It's not using certain items to solve puzzles. It's how do I use the world to solve the puzzle?
Yeah.
And I think that's what made it different. This is probably more traditional in the way that of traditional Zelda puzzles and fights and everything like that. I think if anyone has the opportunity, I think it's a great game to actually play. I know a lot of people probably haven't played Kid Icarus. I haven't personally played it. I've seen playthroughs of it. It's actually made by the creator that makes Smash Brothers, so Sakurai. The writing in that game is so funny. Like, it is so funny. Essentially, Kid Icarus is like it used to be a top-down sort of, it was a side-scrolly shooter where you play as an angel and you had the bow, and that's Pit. But the dialogue between Kid Icarus and Palutena, who's the goddess, they're like almost like a married couple at that site. But it's like the son and mother element, if that makes sense. Like
yes.
They're a protective mum against the kid, and he's like, I want to be strong and awesome, and he's like, I don't know if you can do that. It's that kind of dynamic. It's the only way I can describe it. But like, just go and watch a few clips on it, and you'll understand the appeal of it straight away. But does anyone else have any more thoughts about Kanto Warlords list?
No, one thing I have found interesting in all lists so far is that most of them seem to have an outlier. So there's 3 games sort of make sense together, and then the other one.
The other one, that's true. We'll jump onto the next list, and this is the final one we've got for today's review. And this comes from Turbo. Turbo has on their list Baldur's Gate 3, Persona 5, Final Fantasy 7, didn't specify whether that was the remake or the original. I assume both are good, so that's fine. And Portal 2. Now, what they actually recommended was Baldur's Gate 3, and just because it's stunning in every way, a giant adventure that you can play your own way, and it's brilliantly written, and knocked Portal 2 off their top spot. Baldur's Gate 3. Have you guys played Baldur's Gate 3?
I haven't played any of the Baldur's Gate series.
Baldur's Gate 3, you can play it without knowing the backstory. Baldur's Gate 3, in the simplest term, it is Dungeons and Dragons without having to do all the setup.
Okay, you've got me interested.
Yeah. I've always been like, hey, Dungeons and Dragons seems cool. I cannot be bothered going through the setup and the campaigns and everything like that to set it all up. This does it all for you. And it is unforgiving in that regard. Like, if you get a bad roll, you're okay. That's what you got to live with. You got to live with that. Character-wise, they're all really fantastic. I agree. There's a reason why this game got Game of the Year for the entire year it came out. Like, every single award, it was a Baldur's Gate 3 sweep. It's also a game that's been in development for like X amount of years. I think it's like 7 or 8 years. It's insane, but it actually shows. It shows why it's good. And
imagine releasing a game that actually is finished.
Yes. And the brilliant part is they're actually adding updates. So similar like Stardew Valley, they're adding updates on top and adding new classes and everything like that. No extra payment. And they've been asked, hey, you're going to do DLC for it? No, we'll just keep adding stuff to it. And I recommend it 100%. I think Turbo's on the money with that one. Other games, have you guys played? Well, we've played Persona.
Yes.
Chelsea, have you played Final Fantasy?
None of those 4 games I've never played.
Ooh, okay. That's contentious. Have you played Final Fantasy?
Yes, I have.
Number 7, the original?
Yeah, on PlayStation 2, was it? It came out for?
PS1 it came out on.
PS1, yeah. I had both, so it's hard to remember. But it was for that.
I've only played the first disc equivalent of the PS1 version.
Yeah.
And I've played the remake. So that's all the Midgar or the city section. Chelsea, I think you should be playing Portal 2.
You reckon?
100%. Portal 2, that is like the perfect stream game for you because it's a puzzle game.
Yeah.
However, it's just using 2 portals. I'm sure if the viewers have seen Portal in action, you have a left and a right portal. So it's blue and orange, and you use that to solve the puzzles.
Oh.
It's very well thought out. It gets progressively more difficult as you go, but it introduces elements as you go. Okay. So it's not like, here's the hardest puzzle in the game, that's it. It's not like that. It's more about learning as you go. And have you finished Portal 2, Jack, or?
I haven't. I finished the first one.
Okay, you finished the first one. Okay, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
Those who know the ending of Portal 2, you'll know exactly there's an aha moment, and it's the most rewarding thing ever. And that's the reason why I always suggest it. Like, I played Portal 2, I loved it. It's a great game.
Is it on Steam?
It's on Steam. It's by Valve, actually.
Okay.
So it's one of the few games that they made. Mm-hmm. Goes on sale regularly. You can usually buy it for about $8.
I don't know, my wish list.
One thing I found very interesting about it is it's often mentioned in cozy game spaces, and as you can see from the graphics, it's not what you would consider a cozy game graphically, but its gameplay is very cozy. And
there is a co-op element too, so you can play with a friend.
Okay, cool.
It's a totally separate to the story that's in the single player, and they're more about solving puzzles with a friend. Mm-hmm. So you got to think outside the box. That's always a good shout too. So if you want someone who's interested in that, that's always good to have a play. And then Persona, I went on and on about Persona in my episode and how good it is.
You know that both Duane and I are big Persona fans.
Yeah, so there's no contention there. That's a good list. I'm more closely tied to Turbo's list with what they've chosen. Final Fantasy, I think, great game, 100%. The remake, I need to play Rebirth. I haven't played that yet. Just need a little bit of moolah to be able to pay that.
Yeah.
Just $109. I can't afford that at the minute, but that's okay. That's okay. But I think that's going to wrap it up for today's summary. Overall thoughts, what do we think?
I think, very interesting choices.
Very large range.
Yeah, I think we went for a more broad scape of games here, but I think the one that really surprised me the most is probably Kid Icarus. No one really mentions that game in particular. You've got to know very certain games to get into that space. I'm surprised that Minecraft wasn't on a lot more lists. I know we've had a lot of Minecrafts in there, but we picked these answers because they had the most in-depth explanations for why they picked their game. But
yeah, I think also with Minecraft there is that thing that we were talking about with a lot of people perceive it as a kid's game.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, a lot of people do see it that way. But yeah. Okay, I think that wraps it up for today's episode. Thank you for tuning in for the Ultimo Gaming Podcast as always. My name's Duane, and I'm joined by my lovely hosts,
Jac
and Chelsea.
We will see you on the next episode. Be sure to listen to the Spotify version on Spotify, or you can see the video podcast if you'd like to see us there. As always, we'll see you next time. Thank you.